What is up, everyone? Welcome to the FAA podcast. Jimmy will be on shortly, but I'll go roll through college football. Excellent weekend in football, both college and NFL. Some very entertaining games, some shockers as well. Starting off sort of with this one, I guess. I don't know. I Lone Wolf Tulsa, just saying. 1912, the Golden Hurricanes go into Oklahoma State and win handily, I would say, even though it's only 7, but they were beating them up pretty good. And Baylor Hayes, man, I was super impressed by this kid. I believe he's a redshirt sophomore, a redshirt freshman. Looked like Zach Wilson, BYU Zach Wilson, not the NFL Zach Wilson, but yeah, I mean, I was super impressed with Baylor Hayes in this one, 63.9%, 219, a touchdown, 7 carries for 23 yards. Zane Flores was decent, accurate-ish, 62.5%, only 214 yards, though. 10 carries, 56 yards, a touchdown, did a lot with his legs. Dominic Richardson had himself a hell of a night for Tulsa, 31 carries, 146 yards, a fumble, 3 catches for 11 yards. Oklahoma State also had a 100-yard rusher, Rodney Fields Jr., 17 carries, 113, 6 catches for 39 yards. The leading receiver in this one was Tulsa's wide receiver Zion Booker, 6 catches, 59 yards. And defensively, a whole host of guys. I'm going to go with the top guy, Oklahoma State. I know they lost, but hell of a game from safety Parker Robertson, 15 tackles, 8 of them solos, 1.5 tackles for loss, 2 passes defensed. Lento Smith Jr., the safety for Tulsa, also having a great game. Tulsa plus 10.5. They win outright, under 54.5 easily. Other game on Friday, Iowa beating Rutgers 38-28, spoiling the blackout there in Piscataway, New Jersey. Ethan Kaliak-Manis, I got to say, he did ball out, 60%, 330, did throw an interception, 2 carries, 2 rushing touchdowns on the night as well, though. I was impressed with his accuracy and touch on the ball, especially early in the game. Rutgers had a lot of offense going. Iowa's defense kind of clamped down on the second half and allowed their offense to get going and ultimately won the game by 10. Mark Gronowski, South Dakota State transfer, he was pretty good, 66.7%. 186, 13 carries, 55 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for Gronowski, showing you the dual threat ability that he has. But highest passing yards, I know it's like 186 yards. What do you mean that's the highest passing yards he's thrown in a game? It's Iowa. They don't throw a lot. So yeah, highest passing yards in a game this year for Gronowski. Still trying to get that offense rolling, but looking good. 3-1. 1-0 in Big Ten play. Kamari Moulton led the game in rushing. The Iowa Hawkeyes running back, 14 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown, 3 catches for 21 yards. He returned for this game, so Iowa got a big boost offensively with him in there. 2 touchdown day for his counterpart, Rutgers running back Antoine Raymond, 18 carries, 62 yards, 2 scores. Rutgers wide receiver Ian Strong, great night receiving, 8 catches, 151 yards. How about Iowa's wide receiver Caden Weegan? 2 catches, 20 yards on offense. Also had 1 carry, I believe, for like 7 or 9 yards. But opened the game with a bang, 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He is lethal in the return game, both punt and kicks. Defensively, I am going to go with Iowa, the 2 DBs, TJ Hall, Zach Lutmer, 7 tackles, 4 solos, 3 pass defense for Hall, 6 tackles, 4 solos, 3 pass defense for Lutmer. Iowa minus 2.5 covered, over 46.5. Was expecting that one to be a dog fight, but offenses came to play, 66 in that one. Saturday, this was the first shocker of Saturday. Number 17, Texas Tech, absolutely dominating. Number 16, Utah, 34-10, 24 points in the second half for Tech is what led to their win here. The defense was outstanding for Texas Tech, and it was weird. Baron Morton couldn't get much going offensively, and he got hurt. And then the freaking freshman comes in, Will Hammond, and balling. 81.3%, 169, 2 touchdowns, near perfect QB rating there. 96.3, 8 carries, 61 yards. He did it all, and he did not look like a freshman at all coming off the bench. Baron Morton, I mentioned, for Texas Tech. Tough day before the injury, 63.2%, 142, 2 picks. Devin Dampier, rough day against this Tech defense. 65.8%, 162, 2 picks, 11 carries, 27 yards. Hopefully he can bounce back. I have a Heisman play in for him, so hopefully he bounces back. Texas Tech running back Cameron Dickey led the game in rushing, 13 carries, 67 yards, 2 scores, 3 catches for 20 yards. Utah really couldn't run the ball. Naquari Rogers there, leading rusher, 3.7 yards per carry, just 37 yards. Utah's tight end Dallin Bentley led the game in receiving, caught 6 for 75. And defensively, I'm going with the top guy there, Utah safety Nate Ritchie, 13 tackles, 10 of them solos, 2.5 tackles lost in the pass defense. Texas Tech plus 3.5 wins outright, easily under 58.5. Memphis, this was another shocker, 32-31 over Arkansas. They came back from 18 down in the late third quarter to win this one. Just shocking Arkansas. It was at Memphis, yes, but thought Arkansas would win going away. Taylon Green, 52.9%, 325, a touchdown, 2 picks, 12 carries, 53 yards. Brendan Lewis, the Nevada transfer, only 50% and only 199 yards and a touchdown, a pick, but running the ball, he was electric. 16 carries, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver CJ Smith also threw a pass for Memphis that was intercepted. Sutton Smith, running back for the Tigers, excellent day on the ground, leading the game, 12 carries, 147 yards and a touchdown. Couple long runs, including the game-winning touchdown there. Mike Washington, you got to feel bad for the kid. Arkansas was driving. They were on the Memphis 5-yard line. Fumbles to end the game there. So tough end to that one for Mike Washington Jr. there on what was looking like an Arkansas win. Taylor Green driving him down. Memphis wide receiver Cortez Brahim Jr. Over 107 for 102 and a touchdown. Came over with Lewis from Nevada. Tight end Rohan Jones for Arkansas. How about the day for him? 2 catches, 102 yards, a touchdown, and a 5-yard rushing touchdown as well. 51 yards per reception. That's ridiculous. Tied for the game lead in receiving yards, 102. That's also kind of funny. Exactly 102 for both those guys. Defensively, it was a dominant day for Arkansas defensive lineman Quincy Rhodes Jr. 6 tackles, all of them solos. 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Memphis plus 7.5 wins outright, over 59.5. TCU, Iron Skillet, win it 35-24 over SMU. Josh Hoover absolutely tore up this Mustangs defense. 55%, 379, 5 touchdowns, a pick, 8 carries for 27 yards as well. Hoover's a guy why I believe the Horned Frogs have a good shot at the or at least a sleeper. They're a big sleeper there in the Big 12 this year. I'm telling you right now, Hoover's experienced. Kevin Jennings, pretty solid day in the loss as well. 63.2%, 293 touchdowns, but he threw 2 interceptions to Hoover's 1, 5 carries for 13 yards there. TCU running back Trent Battle, he led the game in rushing, 7 carries for 60 yards. It's a tough day for UCLA transfer TJ Harden on the Mustangs. 3.7 yards per carry there. Led the Stangs in rushing. This was, we can call this the Eric McAllister game, though. Wide receiver for the Horned Frogs. This is a ridiculous. This is like 2 or 3 games for a lot of guys. 8 catches, 254 yards. He had 31.8 yards per reception, 3 touchdowns. Just electric player there for the Horned Frogs. And the ridiculous stat line. Defensively, I'm going to go with the guy that had both of the interceptions off Kevin Jennings. TCU safety Jamel Johnson. 6 tackles, all of them solos, 2 picks. TCU covered -6.5, under 63.5. Number 11, Oklahoma. Go Sooners. 24-17 over number 22, Auburn. This was a tough one, but the Sooners getting it done there. John Mateer was electric, 66.7%, 271 touchdown, 10 carries, 29 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble. Jackson Arnold did not get the win in his return to Norman, the Oklahoma transfer, 65.6%, 220, and a touchdown. Auburn running back Jeremiah Cobb, he led the game in rushing, 6 carries, 61 yards. Tough day for Oklahoma. John Mateer once again led them in rushing with just the 29 yards there. They have struggled to run the ball all year, and that's going to come back to bite them, I think, when they get deeper into SEC play. Isaiah Sategna, the third for Oklahoma, the wide receiver, over 100 on the day, 9 catches, 127 and a touchdown. And defensively, how about the day for the Oklahoma D linemen, Jaden Jackson and R. Mason Thomas? Jackson, 5 tackles, 3 solos, 2.5 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss. R. Mason Thomas, by the way, he did this in 1/2. 1/2. Was suspended for the first half after a targeting call in the second half of their previous game. 4 tackles, all of them solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Oh, yeah, and by the way, safety to cast the cover for everyone out there. -6.5 OU covers, under 47.5. Number 21, Michigan, 30-27 over Nebraska. Tight one in Lincoln. But the Wolverines get it done, 2-0 without Sharon Moore at head coach and his self-imposed suspension. Dylan Raiola, though, you got to be excited with this game. 73.2%, 308, 3 touchdowns and a pick. I mean, it does not get much better than that, and sucks that he lost because he played so well. Bryce Underwood, again, he looked like a freshman. I mean, 54.5%, 105. But the ground game, the legs have really saved him in a lot of these games so far this season. 8 carries, 61 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble, including a 37-yard rushing touchdown there. It was 3 really long runs for Michigan, that touchdown runs that really won them the game. Justice Haynes had the longest one, 75 yards, massive day, 17 carries, 149, a touchdown, 3 catches for 12 yards. Nebraska wide receiver Ja'Cory Barney Jr., he had a big day receiving, including the Hail Mary at the end of the half, 6 catches, 122 touchdowns. And defensively, matching stat lines here for the Michigan defensive lineman, Rayshawn Benny, 3 tackles, 1 solo, 1.5 sacks, 1.5 tackles for loss. Same stat line for edge rusher Derek Moore. Those two guys wreaking havoc in the backfield. Michigan, 7 sacks on Raiola, really put the pressure on him all day. Michigan -1.5 covered, over 48.5. Number 23, Missouri, 29-20 over South Carolina. Lenora Sellers back for the Gamecocks in this one. He led the game in passing pretty good, 64.3%, 302, 2 touchdowns. Bo Pribula, worst game of the season for him, 59.3%, 171, a touchdown, a pick, 9 carries for 72 yards. The legs paramount for Pribula, though, once again. The Tigers outrushed the Gamecocks, I believe, by 296 yards or something like that, 98, almost 300 yards. I think they outrushed them by, because South Carolina ended up, because college counts sack yardage as rushing yards. South Carolina ended up with negative, I think it was 5 to 9 rushing yards. So, yeah, big ground game for the Tigers. Ahmad Hardy was ridiculous, 22 carries, 138, a touchdown. And you see there, Oscar Attaway and Matt Fuller tied for the lead in rushing for the Gamecocks, just 7 yards apiece. Attaway, 3 carries, Fuller, 2. Attaway had a 14-yard reception as well. They did their work through the air. South Carolina wide receiver Vandrevius Jacobs, over 107 for 128 and a score. And defensively, I got to go with Missouri linebacker Nicholas Rodriguez, 5 tackles, 4 solos, a sack, tackle for loss, 2 pass defense. South Carolina, plus 10.5, they covered. over 48.5. By the hook. Arizona State goes Sun Devils. Tridents up 27-24 over Baylor. Sawyer Robertson, really solid day for him in the loss. 64.1%, 250, 3 touchdowns, a pick. They walked it off with a Jesus Gomez field goal. Eastern Michigan transfer. Sam Levitt, really solid. 68.8%, 221 touchdown, 15 carries, 62 yards, a rushing score as well. Love Sam Levitt. Love the Sun Devils in there looking for a back-to-back Big 12 championships. Bryson Washington for Baylor, over 100. He led the game in rushing, 17 carries, 111, 3 catches for 17 yards. Arizona State wide receiver Derek Usabayo, he led the game in receiving, caught 2 for 78. 2 touchdown day for Baylor tight end Michael Trigg, 5 for 71, 2 scores. 2 fumble day for his teammate, wide receiver Josh Cameron, hampering the Bears offense, 6 for 65, 2 fumbles. And defensively, how about let's go with the leading tackler, Arizona State linebacker Keyshawn Elliott, 10 tackles, 8 solos, 1 sack, 2 tackles lost, and a pass defensed. Arizona State plus 1.5. They win outright under 61.5. Fresno State late night, midnight Eastern kickoff. I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching Hawaii lose 23-21 over the Rainbow Warriors on the island. EJ Warner, he was really good, 75.9%, 230, a touchdown, 5 carries, 38 yards. Michael Alejado, I mean, Hawaii should have won this game. It comes down to turnovers, just like it always does, right? Because he was decent, 59.6%, 219, a touchdown, but 3 interceptions. One of them returned for a touchdown, 12 carries, 31 yards. Also an issue for Hawaii. Alejado led them in rushing with only 31 yards. So they really couldn't run the ball at all against this Bulldogs defense. And again, the 3 interceptions just severely costly. Bryson Donaldson for Fresno, he led the game, or actually, I should say, EJ Warner led the game in rushing, I believe, if I remember correctly there. It was not a good day for either rushing attack because, yeah, I have Alejado with 31 there, Warner with 38. And then it was a very interesting stat line for Bryson Donaldson for Fresno. 15 carries, 1 yard. He had a touchdown and a fumble, but he caught 4 for 11 yards as well. So, yeah, EJ Warner led the game in rushing there. So, yeah, tough rushing day for the running backs of both of these teams. What up, Jimmy?
What up?
It was almost perfect timing, but I got sidetracked because I had to double check my stats here. I was confused on that the quarterbacks led each team in rushing in this one on the island. So, but yeah, I also said about that very cool stat line for Bryson Donaldson there. It was just fantastic. Just 15 carries for 1 yard. A touchdown and a fumble and 4 catches for 11 yards.
That's called efficiency.
It's actually 0.067 rushing yards per rush there. Tight end Cameron Beecham, he led the game in receiving for the Bulldogs, 2 catches for 84 yards. And defensively, 2 defensive touchdowns in this one apiece. Fresno linebacker Kavion Thunderbird, one of the best names in college football. 8 tackles. He also led the game in tackles, 3 solos, and a 59-yard pick 6. And Hawaii linebacker Jemai Otis, first touchdown of the game, came on a 37-yard fumble return for a touchdown. He also had 5 tackles, 1 solo, and a tackle for loss. Hawaii did cover, though, plus 2.5 by the hook. It was almost a really even more fun game, but Hawaii scored with no time left, couldn't get the 2-point conversion. Under 47.5 there. FCS game of the week, we all won. Number 17, Northern Arizona, the Lumberjacks, getting it done, 31-23 over number 19, Incarnate Word. Have to believe UIW dropped out of the FCS rankings. I have not checked them yet because unlike the AP poll that comes out on Sunday for FBS, the FCS stats poll comes out on Monday. So I need to check that. But I'm sure at 1 and 3 UIW is probably going to be out. It's always fun though, the FCS poll, because it's like every week there's like 4 new teams that come in and out. So it's always interesting to look at the bottom because the top's usually pretty chalky. But anyways, Incarnate Word, the Cardinals here. EJ Colson led the game in passing. Very efficient, 77.8%, 292, 2 touchdowns, 13 carries, 59 yards. Ty Pennington, he's been good all year for the Lumberjacks. Just 50% completion, but he did well with it. 286, 3 touchdowns. No turnovers total in this game for either side. NAU running back Seth Cromwell led the game in rushing, 16 carries, 63 yards, and a 6-yard catch. Northern Arizona wide receiver Jameson, or I should say UIW wide receiver Jameson Garcia. Big day for him. 9 catches, 116, 2 scores. No defensive stats to talk about because there weren't any turnovers. And ESPN does not carry FCS defensive stats. I've been banging the table for them to start doing that, but I already do enough work. I'm not going into all the research to find all the defensive stats for these games. NAU covered -5.5, under 54.5 by the hook. Let's get to the NFL. Go Birds, baby! 33-26. Eagles stay undefeated in Philly. What a comeback. Down 26-7 early third quarter. I don't know what happened, but it's like the Eagles did a Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. The best Lee Corso clip of all time, where he throws the headgear and he says, fuck it. That's what the Eagles did. So the Eagles did with the run game. They said, we are not doing anything against this Rams front. So stop. We're going to stop running the ball. We're just going to let Jalen throw it. We have the best wide receiver duo in the league, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Let them cook, because they hadn't in the first 2 games. So that's what they did. They stopped running the ball really much at all. Started throwing it. A.J. Brown became his dominant self. And I think once A.J. got going, that opened up more space for Devontae Smith too, because he scored the game-leading touchdown. The game-winning touchdown, I should say, because they eventually did. They were leading 27-26. But yeah, I mean, they really aired it out in the second half. And I mean, that's the thing. Like Stephen A. Smith said today on ESPN, like the Eagles can do whatever they want. If they want to run the ball, they can run the ball and win games like that. If it's not working like it wasn't in this one, they can throw the ball and win games like that. I mean, they're multifaceted, and got to give it to offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo and head coach Nick Sirianni for getting this thing turned around offensively in the second half and getting the dub here. Jalen Hurts, 65.6%, 226, 3 touchdowns, 9 carries, 40 yards, a touchdown, and a fumble. Matthew Stafford, 57.6%, 196, 2 touchdowns, a pick. I don't know what was up with Stafford, Jimmy, in this game. He looked off.
He looked stiff.
There were multiple throws wide open, and he just missed them.
Yeah, I think that was a big thing. He just looked stiff. Like, he didn't look physically comfortable. I know he's coming off, I think he had, off-season back surgery. So I'm wondering if, he can't rotate and, put more into his throws. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed it, too, the first couple of weeks. Rams have played well, but Stafford just kind of always looked limited. And I think it's because he's physically limited.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think he got hit one time in this game. That's when it started. I think he got crumpled up a little bit on one of the hits. But, Kyron Williams, just short of 100, 20 carries, 94 yards, led the game in rushing. 2 catches, 18 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Again, like I said, really bottled up Saquon Barkley. Just 46 rushing yards, 2.6 yards per carry. And even in the passing game, only 9 yards on 4 catches. They were all over Saquon all day. Puka Nacua had a big day. Caught 11 of his 15 targets for 112 yards. A.J. Brown, like I mentioned, big time. 6 for 109 and touchdown on 10 targets. And defensively, you know who it is. Jordan Davis, baby. Go Dogs. The D tackle, 5 tackles, 4 of them solos, a sack, tackle for loss, QB hit. And he blocked the game-winning field goal. I know, returned it 61 yards for a touchdown, got up to 18 miles an hour. And by the way, he is the savior. The betting gods gave us Jordan Davis yesterday because he saved for everyone that had an Eagles ticket. Thank you, Jordan Davis, for saving the day on the Eagles spread. Because the Eagles did cover because of that. Minus 3.5. Over 45.5. 59. Steelers, 21-14 over the Patriots. Tough slogfest in Foxborough there. Drake May, I mean, this kid was balling 75.7%, 268, 2 touchdowns, did throw a pick, 7 carries, 45 yards, and a fumble. 5 turnovers, though, for this Patriots offense on the day. 4 fumbles is ridiculous to lose all of them. And that got Ramondre Stevenson benched. 4 carries, 18 yards, 2 fumbles, 3 catches, 38 yards. Fumbled twice on the goal line. That was why he got benched. Antonio Gibson fumbled as well to wrap up all the fumbles there. Aaron Rodgers, he was good, 69.6%, 139, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Jalen Warren led the game in rushing. The Steelers still have not been able to completely get this ground game going, but they've done enough, I think, to get the play action game. 18 carries, 47 yards, just 2.6 yards per. Caught 5 of 6 targets, 34 yards there. Hunter Henry, big day for him. Caught 8 of 11 targets for 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Calvin Austin, their game-winning touchdown from A-Rod. Defensively, it's I'm going to go the Steelers linebackers there, pass rushers. TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, 5 tackles, 2 solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits, and a fumble recovery for Watt. Herbig, 2 tackles, 1 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 4 QB hits. Dominant pass rush against this Patriots O-line that was struggling on the day. And Watt, man, he looks like he's back to his old self once again these last couple of games. Steelers covered minus 1.5, under 44.5. How about the Panthers? Jimmy Lone Wolf and the Carolina Panthers. And they balled out. 30-0.
Yes, sir.
Your Lone Wolf worked, Jimmy.
I knew it. Bryce Young.
Hey, man. I took him on the spread, so I was happy too.
Yes, sir.
And it was a 3-0 day for my teams, so worked out. But yeah, I mean, this was completely dominant effort from the start. Michael Penix, tough day, 50%, 172, 2 picks. The one thing I will say, though, if you want to nitpick, the passing game wasn't really there for Carolina. 66.7% for Bryce. Only 121 yards, though, on 16 completions. Did score, I believe they said it was his 7th rushing touchdown. So he's like very sneaky running the ball. Like because he's so small, I don't know. He gets into places and he is I think a lot of defenders take for granted how fast he is because he actually is pretty fast. Mm-hmm. He's like Kyler Murray light. Kirk Cousins got in the game, 71.4%, 29 yards. His showcase effort there for whoever wants him.
He's back.
Chuba led the game in rushing, 17 carries, 73 yards, 2 catches, 3 yards there. Bijan Robinson, I mean, he was over 100 scrimmage yards on the day, even in the loss. And Falcons wide receiver Drake London, he led the game in receiving, caught 5 of his 8 targets, 55 yards, 11 targets for his teammate Darnell Mooney, caught 4 for 44. And defensively, it's the guy that had a touchdown. Panthers corner Show Smith Wade, 5 tackles, all of them solos, pass defense, 11-yard pick 6. Caden Ellis, good day for Falcons defense. Panthers plus 4.5 win outright, under 43.5. Vikings, just demolition derby in Minneapolis, 48-10 over the Bengals. Go ahead. Your evaluation of Carson Wentz.
I mean, he's not the answer, but he's good enough, in my opinion. I don't think this game created any sort of quarterback controversy. I'm not sitting here like, oh, it's over for JJ. Wentz is the guy. It's like, I think I was talking to a friend about this game, and it was just like, I think the biggest story is that it's just a complete mismatch in terms of just roster construction and coaching staff. I mean, in my opinion, Jake Browning and Carson Wentz are just kind of the same quarterback. I think if Jake Browning was a Viking, Carson Wentz was a Bengal going into this game, I don't think it's that much different. I think Browning just made a couple mistakes that Wentz probably wouldn't have. But the Vikings had a fantastic roster and fantastic coaching staff. Bengals simply do not, and that was the main difference. I mean, let's just look at the run game real quick. Jordan Mason, absolute stud. 16 carries, 116 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 7.3 yards on the ground per run. I mean, that's a Christian Darrisaw coming back effect, even with missing Kelly and Donovan Jackson in the second half. Just having Darrisaw back, we saw it immediately. I mean, then you go to the passing game. Justin Jefferson had 5 receptions for 75 yards. TJ Hawkinson finally got in the end zone. He looked good. He had 5 receptions. We got Josh Oliver in the end zone. And of course, I mean, I think it's the easiest thing to talk about. Probably the greatest defensive performance by a defensive back in a single game in NFL history. Isaiah Rodgers, 3 tackles, 2 pass deflections, and an interception, which he returned for a touchdown, a fumble recovery that he also returned for a touchdown, and a forced fumble that turned into a touchdown for the Vikings on offense. I mean, it was the greatest defensive performance I think we'll see this entire season. He's locked up defensive player of the week by far. Mm-hmm. And then you just look at the Bengals and it's like, what did they really have? Browning was awful. But I mean, you look at the pass percentage, he actually completed a percentage higher than Carson Wentz. He just had to pass more because they were behind most of the game. That caused issues. P. Ryan was, he almost looked efficient, but he couldn't hang on to the ball. Jamar Chase, same thing. He looked efficient, couldn't hang on to the ball. And then you look at the defense for the Bengals, it was like, who the hell showed up? Chris Jenkins, maybe. He had a sack and a half, a tackle for loss, 2 QB hits. But, I mean, where was Hendrickson? Where was the guy? I mean, he was invisible the entire game. And it just, to wrap this back up, I mean, it's just a clear divide in roster construction. Like, the Bengals need Joe Burrow to win at all, or like not just win, but even compete. Vikings, I think they can go with Carson Wentz. Like, yeah, we can compete every week with this roster. Carson Wentz just has to not make horrific mistakes, and he didn't. So yeah, I mean, it's just a tale of 2 teams without their starting quarterback and how roster construction is so important, and coaching staff.
Yeah, I agree. I was very happy fantasy with Jordan Mason, dude. This I hate that people are getting hurt, but I am like a fantasy genius right now because I told everyone, I tried to tell everyone preseason, the RB2 market this year in fantasy is going to boom. And my top 3, although one is hurt now, but my top 3 guys in the RB2 market, Jordan Mason, Trey Benson, and Zach Charbonnet. And Charbonnet's hurt right now. But still, Charbonnet was the leading rusher in terms of attempts the first 2 weeks for the Seahawks before he got injured. But yeah, the RB2 market, I'm very happy that I have Jordan Mason. I'm very happy that I have Trey Benson on many teams. So we'll see how that plays out. But Jordan Mason, this was what we thought that he could be if he got the workload. That's what happened in San Francisco, right? He got the workload once McCaffrey went down, was very good. So we'll see once Aaron Jones come back what that looks like. But the Bengals, on the other hand, they have not been able to run the ball at all this year. P. Ryan, great efficiency, 5.3 yards per carry, but only 4 carries. Chase Brown, this offensive line, we always talk about how they can't protect the quarterback. Well, they haven't been able to run block either. Chase Brown has had terrible days because he just cannot go anywhere. There's no room for him. It's kind of like Ashton Genty in Vegas, which we'll talk about. It's very difficult, and that's on the opposite end of fantasy. I have Chase Brown in my dynasty league. It's like, dude, it's tough. He keeps getting projected all these points.
I have Chase Brown and Jordan Mason in my dynasty. Yeah. What a day! Funny enough, I played the guy that traded me Jordan Mason for Rashid Shaheed. I'm not even kidding. I got him the trade because he had like 6 RBs on his roster. I was like, I'll take Jordan Mason. You look like you need some wide receiver depth. He's like, sure. This is before the season, and I feel like an absolute just thief right now.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. I traded on May 29th. I traded 3 draft picks for Jordan Mason.
Not bad.
A 2025 fourth, because we do 5 rounds instead of 3 like normal. So we do 5 rounds. So 2025 fourth, a 2026 fourth, and a 2027 third for Mason. Great return. But yeah, Jake Browning is tough. He was getting hit all day. Vikings pass rush was, you see, Ivan Pace had 3 QB hits. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel were hitting him, sacking him. So yeah, dominant performance all around. And yeah, Isaiah Rodgers, like I sent in the group chat today, history for Mr. Rodgers. First ever perfect PFF score, 99.9 player grade in this game. Vikings minus 3.5 covered easily over 42.5 by themselves. Colts, another 40 burger. We had a couple 40s this week. 4 of them, I think it was. 41-20 over the Titans. Are the Colts for real? I mean,
Daniel Jones. Love their defense. Like, their defense was actually like really fun to watch.
Daniel Jones, first player in NFL history, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, 0 turnovers through the first 3 games of the season. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the funny thing is, like, do we think it was the coaching? Like, do we think that short of time with Kevin O'Connell and Shane Steichen's a similar offense to O'Connell's? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he picked up some stuff from KOC and Kirk Cousins as well. Or not Kirk Cousins, never mind. He wasn't there last year. Sam Darnold.
There you go.
You learned from Sam Darnold.
Yes, sir. I mean, just it's it is coaching. I mean, Kevin O'Connell has said in multiple interviews, a team will fail a quarterback before a quarterback fails a team. You know, it's just, you look at the Giants, and don't get me wrong, I like Brian Daboll. I think he's a good defensive coach, but you don't bring in a Brian Daboll with a young, very much project quarterback in Daniel Jones, which is what he was when he was drafted. Everyone agreed he was overdrafted for a plethora of reasons. The biggest being, like, we don't know enough about him. He's basically a project. I was like, hey, Brian Daboll, you defensive-minded coach, like, make this work. You know, we've seen it over and over again. Where teams fall in love with QB, they don't have a QB coach or QB offensive, coordinator, and they fall apart. And then you get Daniel Jones, who spends like 4 weeks with Kevin O'Connell and an offseason with Steichen. guys that like really understand how to work with quarterbacks. And it's like, oh, okay, like I get it now. Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not perfect. And you just look at the other quarterback in Indianapolis as an exact reason why it's not perfect. Anthony Richardson, he's still a project. I'm not giving up on him yet. Give him a couple more years, but Steichen has his hands full of that one. But I mean, we're seeing it all over the league where just coaches are not matched with these project quarterbacks, and it doesn't work. We saw Mitch Trubisky, we saw Justin Fields. Sorry to beat up on the Bears, but you catch my drift. You see it with Daniel Jones. I mean, there's plenty of other project quarterbacks. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Zach Wilson and with the Jets. I mean, guys that just like, oh, they have all these like, they have all this exciting like potential. They just have to like find it. They're very boomer bust, and they're all not filling out their role, and it's because their coaching staff just doesn't know how to like develop these boomer bust quarterback prospects. So
yeah, I think you're seeing it though in a lot of different places. A couple came to mind when you were talking there. Jacksonville, Liam Cohen with Trevor Lawrence has really upticked his game, I think, this year so far. Sam Darnold has looked really pretty good with Clint Kubiak there in Seattle. And there was one more I had thought of, but I can't remember. Baker Mayfield's worked with 3 different offensive coordinators and made them good. So,
weirdly enough, I don't think he's like great, but I think he looks a lot better. But like Kyler Murray looks a lot more efficient with.
Yeah, that's year 2 of Drew Petzing's offense. Yeah,
he just looks way more efficient, which is funny because he like came into the league with Cliff Kingsbury, who was like the QB coach. He was brought in to be the QB coach, and it didn't work out. But then he goes to Washington. He works with
Jaden Daniels,
and then it works with Jaden Daniels. So it's really weird. But yeah, I mean, it really is just a situation where you got to get the coaching staff to match the QB.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do it right away. And like, that's why I'm like, I'm not going to give up on JJ McCarthy. Heck, I'm not even going to give up on Anthony Richardson. It's just, you got to see where like the right guys can be put in the right spot for these young quarterbacks. And Daniel Jones, we're seeing now. It's like, I don't think Daniel Jones is elite in any way, but like you have a coach that's like, hey, I know exactly what to do with you. I know how to not get you rattled. I know how to just put you in a position to succeed. Here you go. And now you're 3-0. So
yeah. But this is the kind of, again, I always go back to what I like in my quarterbacks, and this is the kind of, if you're gonna have a mobile quarterback, this kind of guy I like. He's bigger and he can actually throw the ball. That is the issue with guys like Anthony Richardson, a guy like Justin Fields. They have very issues throwing the ball. They can run it for days and are fantastic. They get exciting. But when they got to have it, they can't make the throws that they need to. So that's, yeah. But I mean, again, that's going back to guys that I really like that are mobile, like Cam Newton when he was playing. Now, he wasn't the best passer either, but Cam was a lot better in terms of mobile quarterbacks that are bigger throwing the ball.
Yeah. And I think the big thing is with mobile quarterbacks, and you see it a lot, the difference between a good mobile quarterback and a bad one is what they do with their head the second they start exiting the pocket. Yep. Like, I'm going to stand up just to like show what I'm talking about. But like, you'll see them go back. Like, really bad rushing quarterbacks will like turn their head down and go. But you'll see like Jones and Mahomes, like you'll see them like move up and like stay on their toes and keep their head downfield. And like, that's the understanding. You're still keeping the linebackers back. You're keeping guys on their wide receiver, so like you're letting the play develop. You see like quarterbacks that like just don't have that. To bring back to Justin Fields, he doesn't keep his head downfield. The second you get him out of the pocket, and Caleb Williams has a little bit of problem with this. He had it more last year, but Ben Johnson's getting it more out of him this year. Or like, it's like, oh, pocket's breaking down, head down. And it's like every linebacker, they see the head down of the quarterback. It's like, I'm going to the quarterback because he's not seen down the field. Daniel Jones, like the mobile quarterback everyone loves, I'll put in guys like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Like, these are your good running quarterbacks because they're not actually running quarterbacks. They're downfield. They understand that, like, even if the pocket breaks down, my first instinct should not be to put my head down. You should keep the eyes up, move laterally, stay behind the line of scrimmage, see if something develops. And if nothing develops or someone's on my back, go. So Daniel Jones is figuring that out in Indianapolis, and it's really working to his benefit.
Yeah, I think his mobility is helping the run game too. Jonathan Taylor has been on fire. Most fantasy points in the league. He's leading the league in rushing. 17 carries, 102, 3 touchdowns, 3 catches for 16 yards. Jimmy, and thank God for the Vikings defense in fantasy, because if not, I would probably be losing because I'm facing Jonathan Taylor in at least one league.
The Vikings had like 4 points in fantasy.
Most of my leagues, they were between 24 and 28.
I saw someone in like a dynasty league had like 30. Maybe it was just how they scored.
Yeah. DJ though, 72%, 228 touchdown, 4 carries, 27 yards. Cam Ward, first NFL passing touchdown. Congrats, sir. It took 3 weeks. 60.5%, 219 touchdown, a pick, 3 carries, 12 yards. Michael Pittman, he led the game in receiving, 6 targets, caught all 6 for 73 yards, a touchdown. Defensively, big time games for defensive end Tyquan Lewis, 2018 third-round pick there. But the touchdown score, corner Kenny Moore II for the Colts, 2 tackles, both them solos, pass defense, 32-yard pick, 6. Colts minus 5.5, covered easily over 42.5, easily 61. Jags, AFC South battle, 17-10, trying to keep pace with the Colts. Comeback effort after the Texans tied it at 10. Trevor Lawrence drove him down, got the game-winning touchdown off Travis Etienne. Trevor Lawrence, though, just 50%, but 222 a pick. So not the greatest game, but he got a lot of help from the rushing attack. Travis Etienne, Basal Tootin, and the defense, of course, was really good all day, limiting the Texans offensively. Stroud, though, 65.8%, 204 touchdown, 2 picks, 4 carries, 22 yards. I mean, Texans are bad, man. They don't have an offensive line. That's why I picked the Jags. They don't have an offensive line. They can't block anyone. And Stroud's running for his life every single play. So I'm very happy with my under 9.5 wins that I have for the Texans.
Yeah, it's just every time I think about the Texans, I know a lot of people think like, oh, is CJ Stroud just bad? It's like, no, this offensive line is just that bad. Like, don't get me wrong, Stroud makes really bad decisions. I think the biggest problem he has, he's so Nico Collins, like first read heavy. Like, yeah, 204 passing yards, 104 of them were to Nico Collins. I think he's very reliant on Nico, and I think that also just has to come from the fact that Tank Dell is gone and Stephon Diggs. I don't think he really trusts anyone else. But there is no one else. But still, like, I blame this offensive line so much. It's not good. And again, kind of like with the Bengals, you can also see in the running game, like Nick Chubb. Yeah, I mean, 4.2 yards a carry, that's fine. But he only had 9 carries, which tells me Houston didn't run the ball because they didn't trust the offensive line to run the ball. So yeah, Houston's a mess. I'm starting to wonder why I thought they would win the division because it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, even last week, like Nick Chubb had a decent day, but that was because he ran that 27-yard touchdown or something like that at the end of the game. Otherwise, his stat line was very bad, especially yards per carry. ETN here led the game in rushing. He was not good yards per carry wise, but 16 carries, 56 yards, touchdown, the game winner. Basal Tootin, congrats, sir. First NFL touchdown, I believe. Or no, he had the second one. He caught one, I think, last week. Nico Collins over 100. Caught 8 of his 11 targets for 104, a fumble. 11 target day for Parker Washington for the Jags. Caught 4 for 34. Defensively, I'm going to go with the bottom guy there. Jags defensive end Josh Hines-Allen, 2 tackles, 1 solo, half a sack, pass defense, pass deflection, and 3 QB hits. But yeah, I think this Jags team's got a good shot. It's going to be interesting to watch them play the Colts. Obviously, those are the 2 teams that are at the top. Texans and Titans 0-3. So, yeah, I don't know. We shall see. Jags covered -1.5, under 42.5. And by the way, just like lock in. I don't know who the Texans play next week. I mean, I can tell you right now. They play the Titans. Oh my gosh, that's an easy. That's a mega max lock. Under the Texans are 3-0 to the under.
Lock it in.
Year. So I don't know what the line's going to be, but I would think that the under is going to hit with those two teams playing. So neither of which has a great offensive line. But the funny thing is, Nick Caserio did this. He's the one that blew it up. Like, they thought it was very bad last year, which it was. Like, C.J. Stroud was one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. Then they blew it up and put new pieces together, and it's not working. It's even worse. So, I don't know. Anyways, Bucks 29-27 over the Jets. Baker Mayfield, first QB since Matt Ryan in 2015 or 2016. I forget which one it was. 3 straight comeback wins in the fourth quarter. 3 straight game-winning drives, I should say, in the fourth quarter to start a season. Bake's on fire, man, and he is just balling. The Bucks have so many injuries. Offensive line, weapons, defensively, so many injuries. Doesn't matter. The Bucks are 3-0, and it's because of number 6. Baker Mayfield, 65.5%, 233, touchdown, 4 carries, 44 yards. He's doing it all. And I'm excited for this weekend. Because he's going to win again. I can tell you that right now. Playing the Eagles. So, Tyrod Taylor, very efficient, 72.2%, 197, 2 touchdowns, a pick, 8 carries, 48 yards, and a fumble. Not bad in his start this year. First start. Bucky Irving, tough day against that Jets front. 25 carries, 66 yards, is 2.6 per, 4 catches, 33 yards, led the game in rushing, though. Emeka Egbuka, the rookie, I mean, I kind of questioned it when they drafted him because I was like, why? You have Evans, you have Godwin, you just drafted McMillan in the second round last year, and you had other needs on the defense. And I was like, why? And I've seen why, because he's just completely balling out, caught 6 of his 8 targets, 85 yards, led the game in receiving. Garrett Wilson, big target share, 13 targets, caught 10 for 84 and a touchdown. And look at how many defensive stats. It's wild that there was 56 points in this game, and we had a lot of great defensive performances. But I got to go with the guy that scored a touchdown. I mean, one of, I think it was 9 defensive and special teams touchdowns on the week, most since I think they said, 2012 in a week. Jamel Dean, corner for the Bucks. Tackle, it was a solo pass defense, 55-yard pick 6. And then for the Jets, defensive end Will McDonald didn't have any tackles, but he blocked the field goal that would have given the Bucks a 9-point lead, returned it 50 yards for a touchdown. That gave the Jets a 1-point lead before Baker Mayfield let him down for the game-winning field goal. And yeah. Jets plus 6.5 covered, over 42.5. Commanders putting one on the Raiders, 41-24. Geno Smith, 65.5%, 289, 3 touchdowns. Pretty solid stat line after last week. Geno threw 3 picks last week. There's 3 touchdowns this week. Not enough, though. Marcus Mariota, he was very efficient, 71.4%, 207, a touchdown, 6 carries, 40 yards. Touchdown, did have a fumble. But yeah, I mean, this is what Mariota does. He's been very good for Washington when they've needed him to play. So, Jeremy McNichols, interestingly, led the game in rushing. 4 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown. That was because he had a 60-yard rushing touchdown. So there you go. 3 carries for 18 yards otherwise. And Ashton Genty. I mean, it's tough slogging inside there for Genty. this Raiders offensive line cannot move at all. So I don't know what they got to do to get him going, but
well, they got to figure out what they're doing with JPJ. They just keep throwing this guy around. Like, pick a position for him and just keep him there.
I believe Genty is averaging like negative yards per contact, yards per first contact.
Yeah,
I think so. So
Ashton Genty is the ultimate. Do you watch the game or do you just watch on fantasy / box score? Because I've watched the kid and I'm like, my God, he has a Herculean effort for like 2 yards. Like, he'll have the best 3-yard run I've ever seen a running back have. Like, it's actually insane. But at the end of the day, it's like a 3-yard gain, so it's like, oh, that's not a lot. But you watch the play, it's like, holy shit, this should have been a negative 5-yard loss. Like, and this kid like broke 3 ankles, broke 2 tackles to get like back to the line of scrimmage. It's genuinely incredible how good of a talent he is, but the shit ass offensive line is just shit from a butt. Like,
so we are locking in the Raiders to draft a guard in the first round
or tackle, honestly.
Well, they got Colton Miller.
Honestly, I'm locking in their first 2 picks next year to be offensive linemen.
Let's draft all offensive linemen. I don't think it's ever been done.
Let's do what the Los Angeles Angels did a couple years ago. They drafted 20 pitchers in a 20-round draft. Raiders are going to get 7 picks, 7 offensive linemen. They're going to be 3 tackles, 2 guards, and 2 centers, and they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah, they have not traded any of their picks. They have all 7 of their own, and none of anyone.
They're all going to be offensive linemen.
Yeah. Or no, they did trade a 5th rounder away, so they only have 6 picks.
Okay, so only 1 center. That's fine. They'll make it
work. Thank God for Bill scoring a touchdown and save his fantasy day. I'm scared because I have Bill in a league, and I'm about to get to 3-0. Hopefully, praying. I'm projected to win by like 50, but I'm down currently because I have like 4 guys playing tonight, including Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers, by the way, and Jahmyr Gibbs. So, anyways, this Washington backfield's scary now because Jeremy McNichols had the 60-yard touchdown run. Krosky Merrick got 8 carries, but Chris Rodriguez was the guy that actually led the Commanders in rushing attempts. I think he had 9 or 10. So, yeah, it's very skeptical. I think Krosky Merritt's a flex play for now. But I might have to start him. We'll see. How about Trey Tucker on waivers in like 5 million leagues? Every single league in fantasy. 8 of 9 targets he caught. 145 yards, 3 touchdowns. They got Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers. Screw that. We're throwing to Trey Tucker all day. The rookie, Jalen Lane. Good day for him. 1 catch for -2 yards offensively, 2 targets, but 90-yard punt return touchdown. How about the ageless wonder, Bobby Wagner, player of the game, 11 tackles, 6 solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles lost, 3 QB hits. Commanders -2.5, covered easily over 44.5, 65. Browns, oh my goodness. I'm so happy. I'm not happy because I was on the Packers a bunch, but I am happy to shut the freaking Packers fans up. Super excited for the Browns to win this game.
I feel just as vindicated with you because you and I said the exact same thing after the Micah Parsons trade went down. You know what we said? We said, man, what a good player to get. Can Jordan Love win you games? I don't think so. And we just watched him lose the Packers this game. He did. I'm sorry, Jordan Love did lose them this game. He was not good enough. And I feel vindicated. I feel extremely vindicated. I'm sure you do as well.
Well, what I'm going to say is on the Browns, I mean, my God, if they had a quarterback, good Lord, they're a Super Bowl team. They have the number 1 defense in running and passing defense. And I believe they have a top 5 scoring defense as well. They have held 3. Granted, last week they gave up 41 to the Ravens. Just the Ravens. But they held them most of the first half, anyways. But Jim Schwartz, I mean, he's on his way to winning a freaking another assistant coach of the year because this Browns defense is just lights out. And they added pieces this offseason. Carson Schweschinger there, you see 10 tackle day for the rookie linebacker. It's just wild how good this Browns defense is. And they just cannot get the offense to go. And it's also weird because while their offensive line has aged a lot and they've now had injuries at O-line, they have an exciting rookie running back. Quinshon Judkins led the game in rushing, 94 yards there on 18 carries, touchdown, 1 reception for 1 yard. They have playmakers in Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku. Harold Fannin has been excellent as a tight end 1B, I will call him. Ced Tillman also has been pretty solid as a wide receiver 2. So they have pieces. It's just they can't get enough explosive plays, and the offensive line gives up a little bit too much, and they're trotting out a 50-year-old quarterback Joe Flacco. So, I mean, yeah.
I was thinking the perfect comparison. This team is literally the 1977 Atlanta Falcons. You remember the Grits Blitz? You know, they had like one of the best defenses in NFL history, like number one in like every category defensively, and they finished the season like 7-7 and missed the playoffs because they had like the worst offense in the league. They had legitimately what might have been like the best defense in league history and the worst offense in league history. To put in perspective, let me just share you some stats about the 1977 Falcons. 129 points allowed in 14 games, which is 9.2 points per game. All-time forced turnover rate with 26 interceptions, giving up only 9 passing touchdowns, and recovering 22 fumbles. I mean, they had 48 takeaways compared to only giving up 9 passing touchdowns, and this team went 7-7.
Dang.
Yeah, like I'm getting Grits Blitz vibes of this 2025 Cleveland Brown team.
Yeah, I mean it's just wild. But yeah, the Browns are off the schneid now, though. Get that first win, you kind of feel better about yourself. So I guess it's go time there in Cleveland to lose the rest of them, right?
Sure it is. Do you think they trade for a quarterback or start? I don't think they want to start Gabe or Sanders, would they?
Well, if Deion's right, Shador's going to be starting.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Deion said that his son's going to start a game this year.
It's just Deion being Deion, so who knows?
Yeah, I know. Oh, yes, sir. But anyways, I am the rest of the stats though. Jordan Love, 72%, 183, 1 touchdown, a pick, 4 carries, 18 yards there. Joe Flacco, 58.3%, 142 pick. Mentioned Quinshon's stats there. Browns held Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs got demolished in the running game. 16 carries, 30 yards. 5 catches on 9 targets for 44 yards. Matthew Golden, interestingly, led the game in receiving there. The rookie had cut off 4 of his targets for 52 yards. Defensively, how about the day for Packers defensive end Rashawn Gary? 3 tackles, all of them solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles lost, 3 QB hits. Browns plus 7.5 covered. Under 40.5. well, stop suspending the pick and I would put it in. So that's not my fault. Costing me money, bro.
They don't want you to
Anyway,
succeed.
I know. The Monday Night Football has kicked off. We've been talking way too long. We went off on our Daniel Jones tangent, and that's where everything went downhill. Everything went downhill. Next game. By the way, I hit a live bet plus 9.5 on the Browns Bucks money line. It was great.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh, Jared Goff, long throw to Jameson Williams. Get this thing going here. I got the Ravens. We all had the Ravens. I forgot to post it on
We did?
Instagram.
Wow.
Yes. No one saved the graphic. Can't believe it.
Ooh.
Chargers 23-20 over Broncos. Great comeback effort for Jay Herbs here. Justin Herbert, man, he is balling. Playing out of his mind. 59.6%, 300, one touchdown, a pick. Bo Nix, tough day, 56%, 153 touchdown, 8 carries for 33 yards. Big tackle for loss there. Odafe Owe there. J.K. Dobbins led the game in rushing. Great efficiency, 11 carries, 83 yards, touchdown, and 1 reception of 0 yards. Marion Hampton got in the end zone for L.A. there. Cortland Sutton, finally a big game for him, caught 6 of 8 targets, 118 yards, a touchdown. Double-digit target days for the two Chargers wide receivers. Quentin Johnston caught 6 of 10 for 89. Keenan Allen turning the clock back, 7 of 11 for 65 and a touchdown. It's been interesting to this one. No Lab McConkey really. He struggled, but yeah, the other guys stepped up. They got 3 of them, 3 good ones. And defensively, I know Nick Bonito had a hell of a game on the Broncos defense, but I'm going with the guy who led the game in tackles. Charger safety Derwin James Jr., 12 tackles, 10 of them solos, a sack, 4 tackles for loss, and a QB hit. Man is everywhere. But yeah, Bonito, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 5 QB hits. Chargers 3-0. 3-0 in division as well. That is, I think, the bigger statistic for LA. That's just they have a massive advantage right now. I mean, to win half of your division games already is wild. Chargers minus 2.5. They cover by the hook. Game winner by Cameron Dicker under 45.5. Dude, Jameson Williams is having a hell of a night already. I mean,
yeah, I'm facing him in fantasy.
Jared Goff's eating them up right now.
Well.
Hopefully he scores a touchdown. I would love that. I think I have him for the first touchdown. I have a lot of guys for the first touchdown. Huh?
Ugh, I hate that. I hate that play call on defense.
Seahawks demolishing the Saints in Seattle, 44-13. Sam Darnold was, almost perfect. 77.8%, 218, 2 touchdowns. Great day. A Sunday drive for Sam Darnold at home. Drew Lock even came in, completed 2 of 3 for 15 yards. Spencer Rattler. Again, I don't think this has been on Spencer Rattler. Last week, he played well enough to beat the 49ers. This week, the stats aren't terrible once again. 71.8%, 218, a touchdown, a pick, 2 carries for 10 yards. I really don't know where it went wrong for the Saints in this game because statistically, they weren't terrible. And interestingly enough, Alvin Kamara actually led the game in rushing. 42 yards, 18 carries, 2.3 per. The Seahawks weren't good running the ball at all, either against the Saints front. Kenneth Walker, leading Seahawks runner at 38 yards, 2.4 yards per carry. He did score 2 touchdowns, though. Jackson Smith-Njigba led the game in receiving, caught 5 of 6 targets, 96 yards, touchdown. Big target day for Chris Olave. Caught 10 of his 14 targets for 57 yards, though. So very low yards per reception. What does Dan Campbell do? 4th and 3 in the red zone. Oh, my.
What do you think he's going to do?
Oh, I thought he was
kicking it. Do you really think he's not going to go for it?
I saw players coming off. I thought he was kicking it. Are they going to go Dan Skipper? No, they're not.
Bringing him back out of retirement for one play.
They're going 4. They went 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers. So blitz. Oh my gosh, they beat him. Amon-Ra.
Of course.
Well, Amon-Ra can score the first one if he wants. That'd be cool. Jahmyr Gibbs. Jameson. Or Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra would be lit. Though that'd be kind of cool. I would love that. Please, sir. Please throw it to 14. Not to Brock Wright.
I'm on the same boat because I'm facing in multiple leagues. I'm facing Williams and Laporta.
Did Jahmyr get in?
And I have Jared Goff on one of my fans. I have Jared Goff as one of my fans.
Oh my gosh!
If it's Jahmyr Gibbs, it's fine.
Jared Goff. I swear to God, if Jared Goff sneaks this, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah. Give me a Jared Goff sneak, baby.
No.
Yes.
Hand the ball off.
Give me that Goff.
Let's go.
Give it to Goff.
Woo!
Who was it?
Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's get it.
That's fine. I'm not facing him anymore.
It's a little bit lower of a payout, but it still is okay. It covers everything else, right? So it's good.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, a bunch of them I had no sweats for the first touchdown, so it's cool. Get that money back anyways. Yeah, we're back to this game. My gosh, once the game started, we got all off track. Chris Olave, yeah, great. 5.7 yards per reception is fantastic. How about Torrey Horton, the rookie? I forgot to put his punt return on here. Scored a receiving touchdown and a 95-yard punt return touchdown, by the way, longest punt return touchdown in Seahawks history. Defensively, it's got to go Seahawks corner Darian Kendrick, go Dogs. 4 tackles, 2 solos, 3 pass defense, and a pick. Seahawks minus 6.5 cover easily over 41.5 by themselves. 57. Niners 3-0, baby, 16-15. Jimmy, we are going into week 4 with both of my 4-0 plays alive. San Francisco and Tampa Bay, both 3-0, both have shots to get to 4-0 next week. But yeah, hell of a game. Mac Jones, baby, 2-0, 65.9%, 284, a touchdown, a pick. Kyler Murray, 62.9%, 159 touchdown, 6 carries, 37 yards. CMC, tough day on the ground, 52 yards, 17 carries. But he had a great receiving day. I hit a receptions ladder on him. Caught 10 out of his 15 targets for 88 yards. That's ridiculous. Ricky Pearsall, 100-yard day for him. 8 catches on 11 targets, 117. Defensively, I am going to go with 49ers defensive end Bryce Huff. 5 tackles, 2 solos, sack, tuck, floss, pass deflection, and 2 QB hits. And how about the kicker, Eddie Pinheiro? All 3 of his field goals, including the game winner, 51 for a long. Hit his only extra point on the day as well. Thought it was over when the 49ers got a holding penalty in the end zone for a safety. Gave the Cardinals 15-13 lead. Mac Jones gets the ball back, let him downfield, get the game winner. Luckily, Brock Purdy's back this week, hopefully. Cardinals did cover by the hook, plus 1.5. Under 43.5. That Cardinals cover. Danny got 2 points because I gave him 2.5. It closed at 1.5, but we had 2.5. So Danny was the only one that covered on the dog. No one else won their dog this week. Bears, yes, sir. 31-14 over the Cowboys. Caleb Williams balling out for me in our Moles Fantasy League. 67.9%, 298, 4 touchdowns, 5 carries for 12 yards. This was the Ben Johnson offense that they've been looking for. The explosive plays, Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore. They are hitting them all in this game. And the defense came to play, got a bunch of turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 off Dak, 1 off Joe Milton when he came in. They also got a fumble recovery as well on a ridiculous play on the sideline, stripping Javonte Williams after he had a long run. But yeah, excellent, complete performance for the Chicago Bears, and finally get Ben Johnson his first win. Prescott, though, played very well. 77.5%, 251, touchdown, 2 picks. Mentioned Joe Milton came in as well, 3 of 5, 60%, 41 yards, and a pick. Javonte Williams led the game in rushing, 76 yards on 10 carries. Did have that fumble I mentioned, caught all 5 of his targets, 16 yards. Bears, one thing, they have not been able to run the ball. That's an issue. DeAndre Swift, 2.5 yards per carry. They're not good. Bears rookie wide receiver Luther Burden led the game in receiving, caught all 3 of his targets, 101 yards and a touchdown. 14 target day for Jake Ferguson. How about catching 13 for a very nice 82 yards? 6.3 yards for
fantasy.
Yeah, PPR day for Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, PPR day, you're feeling great.
That's 13 points. Defensively, great game for Bears linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. 15 tackles, 6 solos, 2 pass defense, and 2 picks. Bears plus 1.5 went outright under 50.5. Great start for the Ravens. Mark Andrews, big gainer from Lamar early. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs beating up on the Giants 22-9. Patrick Mahomes, the offense struggled in the first half, 59.5%, 224, touchdown. Russell Wilson, 56.3%, 160, 2 picks, 5 carries, 27 yards, just forcing the ball. I mean, Chris Collinsworth, I don't know how many times he said it last night. It was just forcing the ball downfield. The deep shots just weren't there, and Russell he got impatient. He wanted to throw him, he was going to throw it. So it was tough all day, all night, I should say, for Russ in the passing game. They did get a great game from their rookie second-round running back Cam Scadaboo. Once Tyrone Tracy went down, Scadaboo took over, scored the first touchdown of the game, which I live bet. Thank you very much, Mr. Scadaboo. 10 carries, 60 yards, a touchdown. Led the game in rushing, caught 6 of his 8 targets for 61 yards. Leading the game in receiving, how about Tyquan Thornton? Caught 5 of his 9 targets, 71 yards, and a touchdown. And defensively, excellent game for Chiefs defensive end George Karlaftis. Worth the money, I think, that Kansas City paid him in the offseason. 10 tackles led the game, or second in tackles, 8 of them solos, 1 sack, 3 tackle swaps, pass deflection, and 4 QB hits. Brian Burns also, great game, other side of the ball. Chiefs minus 5.5, covered under 44.5 easily. That's what I had. I had 45.5, but same thing. Bad news for Syracuse. QB Steve Angeli is out for the season, torn Achilles. He came into this week leading the nation in passing. Really was good against Clemson before he got hurt. 244 passing yards in the first half. And, tough blow for Syracuse and head coach Fran Brown there. NFL news. How about the Giants? Head coach Brian Daboll leaves it open for a QB change, possibly. Continued to circumvent the questions for the reporters about what QB was going to start this week in his first press conference of the week. So Jackson Dart, maybe first start this week. We'll see.
Maybe. Collinsworth is so excited about Dart.
The Texans getting some help. Safety Jimmy Ward coming off the commissioner's exempt list. He was placed on the reserve PUP list, though, dealing with an off-season injury, so he will not be back until week 5 anyways. Can he play offensive line? That's what I want to know. IR, big week. This was a big week for injuries. Guys being placed on IR, Broncos linebacker Dre Greenlaw with a quad strain, Titans defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat, Bears corner Jalen Johnson, who just had core muscle surgery, also offensive lineman Kieran Amagaji, and the Lions edge rusher Marcus Davenport with a pec strain. Injuries, though. My goodness. This is just a laundry list. Bucks defensive tackle Kalijah Cansey, torn pec. There goes Derrick Henry, King, Tutty, tie game.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, placing him in fan.
Oh no, offside on the Lions. Never mind. Kalijah Cansey, though, for the Bucks. Torn pec, right? He had surgery. There is a possibility he comes back. If the Bucks make it into the playoffs, if they advance probably to at least the divisional round, Cansey could be back for that Tampa Bucks team there potentially. Injuries, though, this week. Bengals tight end Noah Fant has a concussion. Bucks wide receiver Mike Evans hamstring injury. And that is a tough one. He's had in his career multiple hamstring injuries. I can remember at least 3 or 4 times he's had a hamstring issue. So I think they said it was going to be minor, though. It wasn't a big one. So hopefully Mike can be back soon. Good news for the Bucks. Chris Godwin expected to return this week off of his fractured ankle, making his season debut. So it's kind of a 1-for-1. Bad news and good news at the same time. Eagles, great news for Philly. Right tackle Lane Johnson sat most of the second half in that one. Right neck stinger, but he said he's good to go. He'll be back this week. Commanders, safety Will Harris, done for the year, or out indefinitely, I should say. Fractured fibula. Chargers, losing running back Najee Harris for the season. Torn Achilles. Lamarian Hampton stock up. 49ers, QB Mac Jones re-aggravated his PCL strain he dealt with in the offseason. So again, sort of like I mentioned with Tampa, it's kind of okay. Brock Purdy has a chance to play this week. I expect him to play. I think Brock is going to play this week. Cardinals, prayers up for running back James Conner, done for the year, ankle injury. Haven't heard exactly what it was, but I mean, I saw the replay and I was like, that was very, very bad. He got rolled up pretty good. And it sucks because he's such a good guy and dealt with so much in his life. Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, he is out 3 to 4 weeks, high ankle sprain, as is rookie guard Tyler Booker. Booker expected 4 to 6 weeks, though. Jerry Jones saying that both could potentially go on IR. I know the initial comment was CD won't be going on IR, but Jerry said there is a possibility of that. Colts corner Kenny Moore II had the pick 6. He's out a couple weeks, calf injury. Bad news for Browns offensive tackle DeJuan Jones, done for the year, knee injury there. Giants, I mentioned Tyrone Tracy went down, dislocated shoulder. He's going to miss significant time. Bears rookie tight end Colston Loveland, good news, injured his hip. He does have a chance to play, though, this week, they said. Vikings rookie guard Donovan Jackson, he's going to be out until about week 8, or they have a week 7 bye. Just had wrist surgery, though.
But I have heard they were thinking he could come back as early as the week after the bye week. So
yeah, week 8. Yeah.
Oh shit! All right. Yeah. I thought you said 8 weeks.
No. Week 8. Week 7 by week 8.
I always forget. I'm always like, holy shit, we're already 3 weeks into the season.
Yeah, rolling, man. Football goes quick.
We're rolling.
49ers. I hated seeing this notification today. Defensive end Nick Bosa, done for the year, torn ACL. My defensive player of the year pick, man. He was playing super well. It's reminiscent of Aiden Hutchinson really last year. I mean, Nick Bosa was balling out in the couple games. I mean, he won the game single-handedly against the Seahawks in week 1. And then, played well against the Saints. Was playing well against the Cardinals this week as well. So tough blow for Nick Bosa. It's his other knee. I can't remember which one. Rappaport said that he had injured before. I think he injured his left knee prior in, I think it was 2022. It's his right knee this time, or vice versa, whichever one he didn't hurt before. So yeah, sucks. Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce, he is in concussion protocol. Commanders QB Jaden Daniels, knee sprain day to day, but they're going to take it cautious with how well Marcus Mariota played this week. They're gonna let Jaden take as much time as he wants or needs. Big blow to the Panthers offense. Tight end Jatavian Sanders, he is out multiple weeks, high ankle sprain. 49ers, I mentioned QB Brock Purdy, shoulder and toe injuries. He has a chance to play this week. And I already mentioned that. Ins and outs for this game, the Ravens missing a bunch of guys in this one. Tight end Isaiah Likely coming back from foot surgery. Defensive tackle Nnamdi Madubuike with a neck injury. Fullback Patrick Ricard with a calf. Edge rusher Kyle Van Noy with a hamstring, all out in this game tonight. And the Vikings already saying QB JJ McCarthy is out in Ireland.
Yeah, I think they said he's going to make the trip to Europe, but they don't expect him to play at all overseas.
Yeah. One release today, the Eagles waiving guard Kenyon Green. So made the trade with CJ Gardner-Johnson, and Kenyon Green is now gone. Probably bring him back on the practice squad, I would think. A couple signings. The Colts, Kenny Moore injury, so they signed former Bengals corner Mike Hilton to their practice squad, and the Commanders, they signed Jags safety Darnell Savage, who was just released last week. So that makes sense as well because of the Will Harris injury there. 3rd and 19. Ravens get a stop. I kind of needed them to not get a stop because I had Lions 10+ points in the first quarter. First half. Was it the first quarter?
No, you should be fine.
Was it I think it was the first quarter though. Unfortunately. Yeah. Ravens to score 40 in the game is another one I got. So that was fun.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, 10 in the first quarter. So maybe we get a muff punt here. Calling my shot.
Come on. Come on.
Can't Campbell get a fake punt for a throw and a first down?
Dude, never doubt Campbell's ballsiness.
Oh, gosh. Nope. It's not going to be a Lions ball. Unless they can get it back somehow. You
need a 3-and-out. A real quick 3-and-out.
But it has to be like 3 incompletions. or like
it runs out of bounds.
Or they get it back with but their clock will run because it's not under 4 minutes. Anyways. Yeah, pick standings. Logan has dropped to the bottom with John because he lone wolfed the Texans last Monday night. You, sir, Danny and I, we are flying high on the Monday show. Monday, Thursday picks. 6-0, baby. Let's keep it going.
That's what we do.
Keep it going. Because tonight it's scary hours with this graphic right here. All Ravens. God. We're all wearing purple tonight. 4.5 is the spread. It is tied 7-7 right now. 3:16 to go in the first quarter. We've got a lot of game left. Total is 53.5. I kept telling people all day, I think this thing's going to be a barn burner. I know the Ravens just got to stop. I don't think the Lions offense I don't think the Lions defense can be able to stop Lamar at all. I just don't think. I like the over. I liked it better at the number that I got a couple of days ago at 51.5 rather than 53.5. But I still think there should be a ton of points, and that's why I also took the one of the Elias specials on Bet365 Ravens to score 40 points tonight. We've already had 4 40 burgers this week, so I think a 5th one kind of capped the week off. But yeah, a lot of offense I expect tonight anyways. One's going on ABC and ESPN right now. Seahawks at the Cardinals. Jimmy, it's Danny versus you and I. We got to stay at the top, dude. We got to stay at the top. Unless we all lose the Ravens tonight.
I almost respect
it. I think this is going to be one of the best games of week 4. And it's wild because we have back-to-back Thursday night games. Thursday night NFC West games. Week 5 starts off Rams 49ers. But yeah, Danny, he went and lone wolfed the Cardinals against the 49ers this week. He is lone wolfing the Cardinals again on Thursday. So he is on the Arizona train.
Doubled it.
I don't know. He got a cover in the dogs picks with the Cardinals, luckily. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Seahawks are on one right now. And I hate that this is a freaking Mark Andrews. Okay, that was just Charlie Kohler. Never mind. I was like, dude, is this a freaking Mark Andrews game? Like, what the hell are we doing? Throw it to Zay Flowers and DeAndre Hopkins. And Tez Walker. Anyways, yeah, I think the Seahawks are balling right now. I like the under in this game. It's 43.5 right now. I like the under. These two defenses have been spectacular. I've been super surprised with the Cardinals, how well they're playing. And it's so funny because I think the reason why they're playing so well is when they added 39-year-old Calais Campbell in the offseason. He has been outstanding in the middle of this front seven. And he has really elevated the other guys like a Zaven Collins in this defensive front. And they are just balling for Jonathan Gannon. Josh Sweat has been playing very well also. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a very good game. I like the under, though. These defenses are going. The one thing I'll say is Marvin Harrison has not been going for the Cardinals at all. And I'm also pissed at him because he needed one more catch to cash his receiving prop last week, and he didn't. But yeah, I like the Seahawks. I think they should win this one. It'll be a close one, but I like Seattle. 8:15 Prime Video on Thursday. Next week, yeah, it's another one of those weird ones. We end week 4. Got another doubleheader Monday Night Football. What a game we have in Miami. 0-3 Jets, 0-3 Dolphins. Someone's got to win, unless we tie. And then I feel so bad for Jake Browning. I feel so bad for Jake Brown. He just faced the Vikings defensive front, and now he's got to come up against the Broncos D front. I mean, come on, man. That's not fair. I'd be like, bro, put someone else in. I'm sitting this one out this week, coach. I'm injured, as you do the little stinky leg. My legs hurt.
And foot and mouth disease, coach.
Yeah. I have something in my head that I'll tell you afterward, but I'm not going to say an excuse on why
That's for
can't
off the
play. NSFW. Thursday night, like I mentioned, we start off week 5, 49ers at the Rams. That should be a great matchup as well. I think all the NFC West ones always are. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com is our website. Check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and TikTok at FAA.podcast. See y'all back on Friday.